Hi everyone, Janie here, and today I'm going to be doing a review of my very first order from Glitters Galore, and this is going to be an honest review of my personal experience, and some of it is good and some of it is not so good, but all of it is things that I think my viewers should know. So a little backstory. I used to buy my glitters and embossing powders from Sparkle and Sprinkle, and I would stock up on those supplies every time I went to Scrapbook Expo. And then I discovered that Sparkle and Sprinkle had an online store, and so I started shopping there, but then they went out of business. But someone named Mark, who I believe is their son, decided to keep the business going and change the name to Glitters Galore. And I have not ordered from Glitters Galore until now because I had tons of glitters and embossing powders and I don't use them very often. But they had an amazing sale for the New Year's of 75% off and I could not resist. So I am going to show you what I got in the mail.
To my surprise, when I dumped out the contents of the envelope, I found these jars with no labels, but just marker writing on the top of them, telling me EP for embossing powder and the number. So luckily, the invoice also has the numbers so that I can match them up and know which colors are which. And these are wonderful colors, but I'm going to have to label them myself. And that really upset me that I'm having to label these. They should have come with labels on them already. And they don't have to have fancy labels like some companies do. This is how Sparkle and Sprinkle used to label theirs. A really simple label that you can just print out by the sheetful on your computer and tear them off and stick them on the jars. This is what I was expecting. I was not expecting this. So this is a negative in the review. I am totally dissatisfied with having to label my own. I am totally dissatisfied with the scribbling on the lids. Actually, with a problem that I have, which I'm not going to get into and discuss, but things like this will absolutely drive me crazy. So I'm actually going to have to find a way to cover that up and label these because that is so tacky and so sloppy. I couldn't believe it. So another thing is when they tell you that it comes in a bag, it is not a misprint. They mean it comes in a bag. So this is how the black embossing powder came, and you can barely read the writing anymore, but it's there. So I'm going to have to find a container to put this in, and luckily I upcycle prescription bottles, so I think that should fit in one. But that is the disappointment that I ran into when opening the package. Another problem I have, this is called Antiquities. Now, they still sell this under the Glitters Galore name, so this was from Sparkle and Sprinkle, but they sell the same thing. And this one right here, that looks exactly like it. Well, actually, this one looks like it might be lighter because it has a variety of colors in there. But I can tell you right now that this one is supposed to be platinum. And I'm going to put a picture up on the screen that I took from their website of these two colors. And these two colors are not this close. These are so close that when you emboss with them, you can't tell them apart. So I'm a little disappointed. I was expecting something lighter according to the picture on their website.
Sorry about the quality of these pictures. I just took them with my cell phone, but this is what the platinum is supposed to look like, and this is what Antiquities is supposed to look like. And later in this video, I will show you a side-by-side comparison.
Now, this wouldn't be a complete review if I didn't show how each of them worked. So I'm going to be using this butterfly stamp right there on all of them. And I'm going to be using black cardstock because I think it will show up better. And so let's get started. We're going to start with the red. And I'm just going to stick that right in there. Use my little embossing buddy tool over the top of it. this is what I am using, the embossing ink that I'm using on this. And let's get that on there. And now, let me move that to the side. Grab a piece of paper here. Whoops. And we are going to be trying the red. And it is sealed, so that's nice. I'll have to throw that away here in a minute. And came out kind of clumpy right there. I don't know if you saw that, but we'll see here. Move that to the side. And I'm actually going to speed this process up. Okay, so just hang in there. Okay, my bad, it does not show up on black. So we're going to try that again on white. Sprinkle some more of this red on here. It's such a pretty, oh, more clumps. It's not just that it's coming out, it's got clumps. Let me see if I can get this up there. There are clumps that are coming out. I'm not sure I like that. Okay. All right. Let's try this again. Okay, see if it'll focus. I think it did a pretty good job. I don't have any real complaints there, other than it came out clumpy. So let's get this opened up here, and it's probably sealed as well, which is a really good thing. I like that it comes sealed. Okay. And okay, this was nice. It didn't have any clumps coming out. Looks like everything covered well. So let me move that aside, and let's give this a try. And that is absolutely beautiful. I love it. Okay, good. No clumps so far in this one. That whole clump thing kind of had me weirded out. And looking at this, I have a feeling it may not show up. But we're going to give it a try. And if it doesn't, well, then we'll do it on white. And there we go. That shows up beautifully on black. When I'm looking at the screen right now, it kind of looks white, but that is a really soft, pretty pink. So that one works well. And this one, well, I've opened one of these already. Let me see if this is one of them that I've opened. Nope. Let me grab the one I've opened because I've got a couple of these. Okay, here's the one that I'd already opened and used. I'm just going to sprinkle some of that right on there. And it comes out nice. Beautiful. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I love it. Okay, I didn't see any clumps in that one either, even though it is kind of sticking on the inside of the bottle. But there we go. That one is beautiful as well. Nice and shiny and every detail shows. Okay, this next one is super thick, clear embossing powder. And I didn't get this one to stamp with. I got it to add, something hanging there. I got it to add a really nice, thick, clear coating over things like this butterfly. So that's what we are going to use. And what I'm going to do is just take the butterfly and press it down on the pad here to get the embossing ink all over it and all over my fingers as well. And I'm going to turn that over and I'm going to wipe my fingers off, and we are going to give this a try. Now, I have never used this type of embossing powder before, so this is an experiment for me, I guess. I mean, I've seen it used. Oh yeah, it's like, sounds like sugar or salt going on this, so it is really thick. And I don't know exactly how it's going to work, but I'm pouring a ton of it on there. Holy cow. Okay, let me just grab my tweezers here and kind of shake it around and, maybe dip it in there a little bit. Okay, let's just give this a try and see what happens. This is beautiful. Looks like I didn't get it covered completely, and I'll have to do it again. But sorry, don't have it where you can see it. But it is a really beautiful gloss on there. So I'm going to have to experiment more with this one because, like I said, I'm new to this and I don't think I got it covered as well as I could have. But wish you could see this in person. It is really cool. I really like this, and I'm glad I got like 3 bottles of it because I think I might end up using it a lot. Okay, just for comparisons, I'm going to try this Antiquities by Sparkle and Sprinkle, and I don't mean try it, I use it all the time, but I'm just going to do this for comparison purposes to see how it looks. So, get this all inked up here. And, oops, forgot to do that, I think. There we go. Get that stamped on there. And let's give this a try. Okay. Antiquities is probably one of my favorites. It's definitely metallic. You can see that it has a variety of colors in it. So it's kind of like, in my opinion, maybe has some, silver and bronze and copper and just a variety of colors in there. And Glitters Galore actually sells this color. So if you like it, they have it. And like I said, it's one of my favorites. Let me see if you can see it on there. It just has a variety. It's really pretty. Absolutely beautiful. Now, do you want to know what I wanted to compare this with? And so that I don't get them mixed up, I'm going to put a little tear in the top of this one, okay? That is my problem. I really thought that they would look different from each other, but I can't tell them apart really. I mean, if there is a difference, it is so slight. So I have plenty of Antiquities, and I just ordered 2 bottles of Platinum thinking it was going to be a lighter color, be different, but to my disappointment, it really isn't. So to finish off my review, I would like to say that if you don't mind making your own labels, if you don't mind the scribbles on the top of the lid, then these are pretty good. I wasn't overly happy with the red, that it only showed up on the white and that it had clumps. But the rest of these, they looked beautiful. I think they all did a beautiful job. So performance-wise, I would have to give them almost a 10. This brings it down a little bit. But for packaging, I have to give them a complete thumbs down, a 1 on that scale. So I mostly wanted to make this for anybody that's going to be purchasing from them to just have a heads up on what to expect when you open the bag, when you open the package, so that you know that these are not labeled and that you'll have to do that yourself, but that the product itself, I think, really does a good job.
This review is solely my opinion and from my personal experience, and the purpose of this review is to make you aware of how the embossing powders are packaged and the performance of the product. I hope this review has been helpful, and if you're interested in purchasing from Glitters Galore, there is a link below in the description box. Thank you all so much for stopping by, and happy crafting. Bye-bye. If you like this video, I hope you give it a thumbs up, and if you're not already subscribed, I hope you consider that too. And if you do, be sure to click the little bell next to the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos or giveaways. And I hope you stop by Crafters Castle on Facebook and also Crafters Castle Challenge blog to enter your creations.